As soon as that mask went on, I don't know. The gimp just came out of me.
Being cheated on is awful enough. Now imagine having to play lovers with the person who cheated on you. Which two actors fell in love and got divorced all throughout one series together? Some actors refuse to work with others due to allegations, and some just don't vibe very well. Whatever the reason, we've got the scoop on some of the most intense Hollywood working relationships. Or not working, that is.
Sometimes I'm totally overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed.
If you make two people who detest each other work together and pretend to be a couple, will they fall in love? The chances aren't so good for Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn. The two did not get along filming Four Christmases, and judging from some of these glares, yeah, things were tense. Ever wonder why Vaughn didn't do any promotion for the movie? Simple answer. He disliked working with Witherspoon so much he couldn't stand to spend any time with her. He didn't absolutely have to.
Find that balance for yourself of when you get involved and when you don't.
While Wahlberg and DiCaprio appeared in The Departed together, this pair almost never worked together. DiCaprio was cast in a film called The Basketball Diaries, and when he learned that a certain Mark Wahlberg was supposed to do it as well, he completely freaked out and said he wouldn't do the movie. Leo didn't get his way, but the two ended up working things out in the end and even became pals. Thank goodness, because their on-screen chemistry is great.
Do you accept me as your friend?
Sure.
Thanks, pal.
And you?
I as well.
These two had quite an interesting time filming the movie This Is the End together. Neither actor had a very big part and they were playing themselves in the movie, but it seems that Tatum got a little too comfortable. There was a scene that never made the final cut because it involved Tatum dancing around in this very particular outfit. While he was on set, he thought it would be fun to move to Watson and dance in front of her. Watson was not a fan and was so upset by it that she walked off the set. Not only that, but she walked away from the film fully and didn't return after the incident. The workday was done 5 minutes after her exit. The team had enough footage of Watson for the film to make sense overall, so they kept that and rewrote the remainder of what she would have been in.
And then ultimately had to actually go and do it, but that was a terrible idea, probably.
While they played besties with loads of tension on Gossip Girl, the fact is that their real-life relationship was just as intense.
You did not just do that.
Why do you think you were invited?
Meester thought Lively was full of herself since she was cold with her castmates and didn't really show the enthusiasm others on the team did. Lively's rep was pretty honest and said that the two had never really been friends and that the show was just a job. Lively just did her job. Even today, the two don't follow each other on Instagram.
So it actually makes it a lot harder, but it makes the performance holistically so much more.
Gal Gadot reportedly refused to reprise her role in Wonder Woman as Wonder Woman unless Brett Ratner was fired from the project. After 6 women came forward accusing Ratner of sexual assault, Gadot demanded he be fired from the production, and since she's Wonder Woman, well, the team came together and honored Gadot's demand.
They all have echoed the same sentiments.
It would have made total sense for Bronn and Cersei to interact in Game of Thrones, but they never did share the screen. Once upon a time when they were dating, it probably wouldn't have been an issue, but once they broke up, they didn't want to have anything to do with each other, and couldn't even be in the same room together on set.
I'll tell everyone the truth.
This was one of the more legendary stories. It was actually known that the two should be kept apart for everybody's sake.
What's left to fight for?
Lindsay Lohan's character on the show Ugly Betty was actually meant to have a longer run on the show, but let's just say, if Lohan had stayed, things could have gotten even uglier. Lohan was in her prime days then and had a bit of a diva streak, trashing dressing rooms, refusing to show up on set. Ferrera was not having it. While it was tense from the beginning, the day that really went wrong was one where they rehearsed a scene where Ferrera was supposed to be pantsed by Lohan. America jokingly did it to Lohan on set, and well, Lohan was a bit underdressed for the occasion. She was embarrassed to tears by the incident. The experience wasn't great for either of them, so it's no surprise they never appeared on screen together again. Wesley Snipes was without a doubt the least liked person on the set of Blade Trinity. Ryan Reynolds had one of the worst experiences with this. And since they played opposite each other, it was hard to avoid.
This is supposed to be a rescue!
Snipes acted really erratically on set and did questionable things like communicating with the director through only post-it notes.
Don't worry about it at all.
Here we have another example of TV couple goals we loved, but unfortunately, this one wasn't such a happy ever after. They went through falling in love, getting married, and a messy divorce, all while playing leads in the popular series One Tree Hill together. Murray definitely screwed up when he cheated on Bush with Paris Hilton, only a month after he got married. We wouldn't want to work with Murray after that either.
That's right. Do you know why?
Allie and Noah were couple goals for the longest time. If you're a bird, I'm a bird. Right? The early days definitely resembled these intense fights between the two, though.
Stay with you. What for? Look at us, we're already fighting.
Well, that's what we do.
Gosling was actually so frustrated working with McAdams one day that he publicly asked the director if another actress could replace her off-screen because he couldn't work with her anymore. They managed to work through their differences anyway and ended up dating for a while after the fact.
This has not been my experience, but I hear that it happens.
Remember how the actor who played Aunt Vivian in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air suddenly looked very different? Janet Hubert was replaced by Daphne Reid in 1993, who played the role until the end of the series. There are a couple of different sides to this story. Hubert claimed that the cast was really cruel and unkind to her. Smith says that that wasn't quite the case and blamed Hubert's negative attitude. Either way, Hubert said she would never work with him again, calling him an egomaniac. Surprisingly though, in 2020, they did reunite and address the long-running feud.
I felt like you hated me.
This seems like a bit of an unlikely pair to have such a tense relationship, but neither one is a fan of the other. Looks like Ford didn't have to do too much acting while he played Hartnett's partner in the movie Hollywood Homicide. Ford called Hartnett a punk, and Hartnett retaliated with the oh-so-mature comeback of old fart. It was pretty inconvenient considering they both played leading roles. There were times they actually just sat on set in silence because they were so infuriated with each other.
If I like the people that I might be potentially working with, I just want to take the opportunity.
James Franco has a strong personality, and, well, let's just say he's clashed with a few colleagues over the years. His method acting style didn't go over so well with Tyrese Gibson, who started receiving actual punches from Franco while they were doing the film Annapolis together. While Franco denies ever hitting him, he admits he was probably a jerk, but that he never wanted to work with Gibson again. We're pretty positive Gibson wouldn't want to work with him either. Many years ago, Jennifer Aniston and Leslie Mann appeared in a film called She's the One together. Let's just say Aniston wants to keep that experience way back in the past. Even though the actress really wants to work with Judd Apatow again, the thing keeping them apart is his wife, Mann, since she appears in most of his films. It seems there are a few other people on Aniston's side, since Mann is known for having difficulties with the leading ladies in her husband's films.
That would just feel good to be to hurt people.
It didn't take very long for Faye and Hilton to clash when they worked together on an episode of SNL that Hilton hosted. According to Faye, Hilton was way too much of a diva to work with, and on top of not being a very good host, she also made fun of actors for their weight and was rude to everyone. Faye has confirmed that she'd never work with her again after that nightmare. Wow. These are awkward just to hear about. We can't even imagine having to work on sets with people we have such strained relationships with. The actors definitely did show off their skills though when they managed to continue working together despite these rageful feelings. Did any of these feuds surprise you?